And let me remind you also that moderation in the pursuit of justice is no virtue.
Industrial giant, to get government back within its means and to lighten our punitive tax burden. And these will be our first priorities, and on these principles there will be no compromise. I can hear you! I can hear you! The rest of the world hears you! And the people...
Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, what's up, Saints and Patriots? Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty. A lot to get to on today's program. First, I want to invite you, check us out, check me out, the RER video YouTube channel. It's very easy to find me. Go to RagingElePhantsRadio.com, and in the right column of the website, just scroll down on the home page, any page to be exact, and you will see my lovely face. Right there in the YouTube box, it says live now. That would be moi as we speak right now. So go check it out, and you can check me out live. Today's program, Alice Linehan. It must be Thursday, although sometimes she does appear on Wednesdays and Fridays. And one of our favorite people who has a chance to drop in every once in a while when she gets a break from her 10 children, Terry Hall of Texas Thur. It's going to be a great program. Great news to start off with. Yes, I began today's program with Pat Benatar, sex as a weapon, because I do have some thoughts on this whole Kavanaugh Professor Ford fiasco, this smear job, this political character assassination. It's a travesty, and I've got some counsel for us men out there as well. In these very troubling times when it comes to interface between the genders. You got to be careful these days, fellas. You got to be careful. You're going to have to listen to the words of wisdom from yours truly in order to avoid complete and utter lifetime disaster. That's a Trump word for you. Disaster. You know what I want to do? Gee, I haven't even cranked up my RER video channel here yet. I'm still having problems with Facebook. I don't know what the problem is with Facebook. I really don't. Trying to connect to Facebook. I'm going to have to get the genius, Daniel Miller, on it, I think. But other than that, I'm not going to even worry about Facebook, okay? I really am not. I'm not. Bunch of chumps. That's what they are. If you want to be serious about it. Oh, last Friday, I actually did a segment on the local Fox News channel here, Fox 26. There's a program called the Isaiah Factor, and it's hosted by a brother by the name of Isaiah Carey, longtime professional here in the Houston area. It's my first time on the local Fox network in that capacity. I've been interviewed by them before. The first time I was interviewed was when we put up the Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican billboards in 3rd Ward. Kind of set everybody off. They didn't like that at all, as everyone remembers. But I'm going to play that program for you a little bit later. That appearance for you a little bit later. I think you're going to enjoy it. It was fun to do, and apparently I knocked it out of the park because, well, they want to have me back. And why wouldn't they? I am the ultra-conservative soul brother. Now, it's rare on this program when we can actually talk about good news. But there was certainly some good news from Tuesday. The election on Tuesday. We woke up Wednesday, and lo and behold, what do you know? Republicans now have a super majority in the Texas Senate. There is now 21 Republicans out of 31 in the Texas Senate. A full 2/3, a super majority. Well, what do you know? What do you have to say about the blue wave now, Democrats? Oh, they're hurting. And I think on November 7th, one day after the midterm elections, they're going to be hurting some more. I mean, I've already said it. I believe that both the Senate and the House in Washington, D.C., National Government Congress, the Republicans are going to expand their majorities in both chambers. See, the Democrats and the so-called experts inside the Beltway bubble believe that the Democrats have a chance to regain the House, and some are even stupid enough to say regain the Senate. I'm telling you right now, I'm putting my chips all on the table saying, no. Republicans are going to expand their majorities. Think about it. If they run the table in the Senate in Washington, D.C., now the Republicans have a super majority and they have 60 seats. There ain't no stopping them in the Senate. And I believe that the Democrats are not going to take the House, and that the Republicans, I'm not going to say potentially, I'm saying concretely, Republicans are going to expand their majority. Now, let's look right here in Texas. Right here in Texas. They just did it. The Republicans just expanded their majority in Texas with the election of Pete Flores. This is Senatorial District 19. Now, what happened in Senatorial District 19? Why was there a special election? Because jackass Senator Carlos Ureste, this is San Antonio area, well, he's in an orange jumpsuit right now. So they had to have a special election. This seat was being held by the jackasses for 139 years. 139 years. And in the special election, Pete Flores beats Pete Gallegos. Game over. Former Democratic Congressman Pete Gallegos. Therefore, he's got name ID. Therefore, he's got machinery. Therefore, this should be a blue win easily. It should be status quo under the pink dome in the upper chamber. But no. Republicans won it. Pete Flores won it. He is the victor. The jackass got slaughtered. Well, I don't know if it's a slaughter, but there you have it. And now, even the Dallas Morning News is talking about, this dampens the optimism of the Democrats for a blue wave. I'm the one right here on this program told you a long time ago, the blue wave is going to look like a kiddie wading pool in your backyard. That's what it's going to look like. It's not going to be any blue wave. It's not going to be any blue wave here in Texas. I'm the one. Everybody's now jumping on, Ted Cruz is expanding his lead. The polls show that Ted Cruz is expanding his lead over Beto the Punk. I'm the one here as recently as last week have given you the numbers, the math, that, in my opinion, guarantees a Ted Cruz double-digit victory come November 6th. And I may have a chance to go through those numbers again. But here it is in Texas. Now remember, this district, SD19, goes from San Antonio all the way down to the Texas-Mexico border. Goes all the way down to the Rio Grande. This is Hispanic country. Ain't no black folks in this district. And very few white folks. This is tamale country, baby. And Democrats here in Texas and Democrats nationally underestimate the popularity and dedication that Hispanics have south of I-10. They underestimate by Hispanics. I mean, the Hispanic support. Remember, border counties, literally border counties, who actually abut against the Rio Grande, voted for Trump. Mainstream big corporate Pravda doesn't want to report on that. Raging Elephants Radio did. Counties on the border, I think it was 5 or 6 of them. I'll go back and get the research. I can't get it off the top of my head right now. Actually voted for Trump. Trump won Rio Grande counties in Texas. There are opportunities for the Texas GOP and the RNC down in the RGV. That's a lot of alphabet soup there, but it sounds good. These opportunities are there, and the Texas GOP will not take advantage of it. Raging Elephants Radio has been down to the RGV. We have broadcast live from the RGV. And guess what? When we were down there, we saw some outstanding conservatives, some outstanding liberty-driven, multi-generational Hispanics, Tejanos down there, some of them potentially fantastic Republican candidates. I think this is just the canary in the coal mine for the Democrats when it comes to Texas. I think a lot of their power has been lost with the ousting of Joe Strauss as Speaker of the House and all his henchmen and women. That had a large impact on any type of Democratic power in the Lone Star State and under the Pink Dome. But this is huge. 21 seats out of 31 in the Texas Senate, a full majority. There is no excuse now, in my view, there is no excuse for the Republican agenda as outlined in the Texas Republican Party platform 2018 and previously. There is no excuse now for them not to get those agenda items, especially the legislative priorities, done. Come 2019, come sine die, the end of the legislative session, we should be able to count on more than one hand the amount of GOP platform planks that have actually become a reality, that are under the authority of the Pink Dome and the governor. There are certain items that we want to see. We've been waiting for them now for over a decade, if not longer. And there literally is no excuse now, with Strauss being removed, there is no excuse now for those items, that Republican agenda, that GOP platform, not to become reality. Hang tight. More commentary from yours truly. Hey, this is Claver. I want to take a few seconds to give you some words of encouragement. Go after the dream. Some of you have embraced the dream of having your own talk show. Congratulations. You've got a lot to say, and you have the confidence to believe you can do a great job. You should start on RagingElephantsRadio.com. Purchasing your own block time is cheap. Yeah, a lot cheaper than your local terrestrial station for sure. And we don't leave you to sink or swim. Consultation on how to get up and running is part of our service to you as an RER independent producer. Shoot me an email, at RagingElephantRadio.com. Info at RagingElephantRadio.com. I'll send you a full media kit. Launch that dream right now with RagingElephantRadio.com.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElephantRadio.com. Pastor Edwin Guerra delivers passionate sermons.
And then I'm reminded, God is greater than our feelings. There are times that you don't want to be Jesus to people because you just don't feel worthy. God is greater than how we feel. And that is our hope. We are called to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We are not called to be emotional, up and down, Christianese type of people. We are called to be bold and stand firm on what we believe, even if you don't feel like it.
Enjoy Pastor Edwin Guerra, 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below-market rates with above-market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy-efficient buildings, customer-friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas-owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Can you do it? The RER 2+2 Challenge. Howdy, rowdy Texans. It's me, E, the millennial voice of RER. I'm a big fan of RagingElephantRadio.com. More Texas voters should be listening to RER every day. A better, deeper knowledge of how Texas works will help Texas voters to make Texas more like Texas. The RER 2+2 Challenge. Listen to RER 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. You'll learn more about Texas politics in 2 weeks than you've ever known. Mark it on your daily calendar. Set your phone alarm. The RER 2+2 Challenge. 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. RagingElephantRadio.com. The rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
You're enjoying Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Claver, your favorite political flavor. Always giving it to you straight, no chaser. Hey, listen, guys, check me out. RER video. I'm streaming live right now if you want to see my beautiful face. Just go to RagingElephantRadio.com. Scroll down the webpage. On the right-hand side, you'll see our YouTube box, and you'll see the little bug there that says Live Now. Click it. And you can see me live without even leaving the website. Now, if you want full screen, of course, just click again, take you to the YouTube video channel, and then you hit the full screen button, and there I am in HD. I don't know. It's been demanded, it's been put upon me to do video, and thus I am. It is now a supermajority in the Texas Senate. A super majority. Oh, by the way, Alice Linehan is coming up and Terry Hall, two of your favorites. Hang around for that a little bit later on this program. It's a supermajority. There is now no excuse, especially with Joe Strauss being moved out of the way and the election of the new speaker forthwith. There's no excuse for Texas Republicans not to do the will of the Texas people, as ordered, in writing, in ink and paper, the Texas GOP platform, and all the legislative priorities. Constitutional carry, ending, repealing property taxes. They need to do that. Ending the DREAM Act, more focus on border security, abolishing abortion. All those things can be done in Texas. There's no excuse. There is now no excuse. Hegemony, Republican hegemony, for sure, in Texas at the end of this election cycle, come November 7th, 2018. Once again, there will be no statewide jackasses elected. No statewide Democrats. Once again, they will all be Republican. Railroad Commission, all Republican. Texas Supreme Court, all Republican. Most of the appeals courts, mostly Republican, majority Republican. Statewide, all Republicans. Abbott's going to win. Patrick is going to win. Paxton's going to win. Hager, Texas Comptroller, who most of us forget most of the time, he's going to win. There's no excuse. There were 95 Republicans in the Texas House of Representatives at the end of the last session. At the end of this election night, November the 7th, I'm saying November 6th is election night. Wake up November 7th. Potentially, we could have a couple of more seats. I'm not really concerned about the congressional delegation. You guys know that. And I'm watching the Ted Cruz race simply out of amusement. And also for indications of how down ballot is going to go. But there is now no excuse. No excuse. And look at this margin of victory. Pete Flores, the Republican, beats Pete Gallego with the name ID. Former Congressman Pete Gallego. And he beats him 53-47. He beats him by 6 points. 53-47 in a seat that's been held by the jackasses for 139 years. Blue Wave, where are you? Democratic energy, where are you? Hollywood money, where is your effectiveness? And I'm telling you right now, Ted Cruz, he's going to beat Beto the Punk double digits. Greg Abbott is going to beat whoever the Democratic opponent is. Oh, yeah, that's right. Lupe, going to beat her by 20 points again. Whoever the lieutenant governor nominee is for the jackasses, St. Danny Boy Patrick, going to beat him by 20 points again. I guarantee it. I'm guaranteeing it. 53-47 was the margin. Now, there was only 44.4, nearly 44.5 thousand votes cast. 353 precincts. Secretary of State's website doesn't give us the turnout on that, the turnout percentage on that. But a 6-point victory in a district that has been held by the Democrats for 139 years. And a Republican wins. Now, we have to see what kind of Republican he is, because the record of Hispanic Republicans under the Pink Dome is abysmal. They are the rhinos of the rhinos. And so just because somebody has an R behind their name, we could have ourselves a Hispanic John Corona. We could have ourselves a Hispanic Jeff Wentworth. We could have on our hands a Hispanic Dr. Bob Dole. These were straight up rhinos that were replaced by liberty-driven senators, and thus making the Senate the more conservative of the two chambers. Didn't used to be that way, or so we thought. Well, one by one, those rhino senators are being chased out of the Texas Senate, and they're being replaced by rock-solid Liberty Movement, even Tea Party-birthed senators like Connie Burton, like Don Huffines, like Bob Hall, to some extent Donna Campbell to some extent. But I wouldn't call Donna Campbell genuine Tea Party, which is a disappointment because she certainly played the Tea Party when she was running for Congress and for Texas Senate. So we have to see what kind of Republican Pete Gallegos actually is, because the history of Republicans under the Pink Dome is that they are rhino down to the bone marrow. And if this guy, Pete Flores, to be sworn in as the new Texas senator for SD 19, if he turns out to be another Hispanic rhino, we're going to call him out. And if he needs to be defeated, let him be defeated. Put somebody up against him whenever the term is over. This is a special election in the primary, and get rid of his buttocks. We're not going to tolerate nimnong rhinocerousness from anyone, regardless of their skin hue. We don't care. If you're a rhino, you're a rhino. You need to be made a trophy. So there's no excuses now, Saints and Patriots. 21 seats. Since Dan Patrick got to the Senate, as a freshman, he was fighting to defeat something called the blocker bill, which is basically a Texas senatorial filibuster law like they, I guess, used to have in the U.S. Senate. And so Patrick was always trying to get rid of the blocker bill because there never could seem to be a way for Republicans to get to a 2/3 majority, a super majority. Well, they have it now, with Connie Burton taking over for Wendy Working Girl Gold Digging Davis, and now with Pete Flores beating Pete Gallego in SD 19. It's 21 out of 31 seats. That's a super majority. There's no excuse. And the rank and file of the Texas GOP can't let these guys slide. Have to be on them like a mad dog on red meat, because they will try to do plutocratic stuff. They will try to do rhinoceros stuff, regardless of who's holding the gavel. Just to maintain his power, Dan Patrick will allow some rhinoceros, Pelosi, Bernie Sanders type of stuff to get through the Texas Senate just to make his underlings happy, just to make Gregory Abbott happy. He'll let rhinoceros leftist stuff, socialist stuff, get to the desk of the governor. Dan Patrick will do that. So we're going to be watching Mr. Flores. Congratulations, Mr. Flores. Thanks for putting the GOP over the supermajority number in the Texas Senate. First time in all of our lifetimes. Let's see what they do with it. We're going to be watching. We're going to be watching like mad dogs on red meat. Raging Elephants Radio. Alice Linehan still to come. Terry Hall still to come. A lot to talk about. Education and transportation. Raging Elephants Radio, your Texas network. If you're not listening, you're not learning. What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, why and how Texas will leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, why and how Texas will leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
My name is Dr. Annalisa Bailing. I'm a naturopathic physician in Michigan. I have two practices, one in Flint area, Swartz Creek, and the other one in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So kind of spans the state from one area to the other. I think I first met you and Vital Choice maybe 6 years ago at one of the AANP conferences, the naturopathic conferences, and fell in love with the quality, the service staff is amazing, and just the ability to have products shipped directly to my office and be able to sell products to my patients and know that they're the best quality on the market. My patients love the canned salmon, and the tuna it's hard to keep in stock sometimes because they just love the quality. And they're willing to pay a little bit more to know that it's the better quality.
Visit Vital Choice Wild Seafood and Organics through the RER Marketplace.
Hey, this is Barry the Music Man with the Doc Green Show, and one of their most beloved sponsors is BDAC and Heat. I'll tell you what, last summer when it was hotter than heck, my air conditioner went south for the winter. So I called BDAC and Heat. He came out the next day and put in a new, quiet, efficient system. My electric bill dropped 50%. So if you have an AC problem, you need to give Galen a call. So call Galen Beatty at 281-222-9591 or bdacandheat.com. 281-222-9591. Start saving money and be cool today.
Here's how to use the RER app on your commute and get the latest Liberty 411. First, download the RER app on your smart device, phone or tablet, Apple or Android. Search Raging Elephants Radio in your App Store or Google Play and hit the search button on your keyboard. Connect your device to your car audio system. Do it via Bluetooth or auxiliary jack. You riding old school? Stick in some quality earbuds and enjoy the serious HD stereo. No excuses. It's here. RER app.
Information, communication, action. RagingElephantsRadio.com.
I'm one happy puppy. I got myself a new vape machine. I don't know what you call these things. You can't call them vape pens. I call them like vaporizers, vape machines. This one is smaller. It's powerful. Yeah, my other one finally gave up the ghost, man. How long did I have that thing? 2 or 3 years. They don't last forever. They don't last forever. But this one is pretty cool. I like it. Got it from Electronic Cigarette Vaporizers. I think I'll take a puff on video. Oh, that's good. That's good. My juice right now is RPM. I like the sweet stuff, the fruity stuff. And then, of course, I had to... Chantal over at Electronic Cigarette Vaporizers, I think she made RPM just for me. I really do. I walked in. Claver, I got this new flavor. You gotta try it. RPM. Oh, why would you call it RPM, Chantal? Love RPM. I also like all the ones with the dragon at the end of them. Grim Dragon, Sweet Dragon. I like Riddler one. I like Fruit Cup, oddly enough. Tastes great. Love it. See which other ones I like. Cali Born. But the only good thing about California is this vape called Cali Born. So I got me a new vaporizer and I'm happy. Let's talk about this Kavanaugh thing just for a second, because this is vitally important to men. All this emphasis on women, this is important to men. And this is important to politics, saints and patriots. This is important to life, liberty, and prosperity. What everyone needs to know as of right now, from me, the thing that jumps out at me about this whole Kavanaugh thing is that it's apparent that sexual smear, character assassination, sex as a weapon. That's why I played the Pat Benatar song again. I'll put it in my stack of heat up music. I hadn't played it in a while. I'm just waiting for another male victim to come, get laid out on the carpet. And I'll put the Pat Benatar song in for heat up music. Sex as a weapon. That is now SOP for the jackasses. That is now SOP, standard operating procedure. This is the Kavanaugh attack. It was predictable. This is now standard operating procedure. This is truly what I think, Saints and Patriots. I have said this before, and I'm saying it again. I believe that there is now going to be, I really can't say GOP at the time, right now, GOP political consultants, but I believe that there will be Democratic political consultants that will now specialize in sex as a weapon. They will specialize in it. Just like there's consultants to handle mailings. There's consultants to handle robocalls. There's consultants to handle your ground game. Of course, there are polling consultants and messaging, and you get it. There's specialists in the political consulting field. There's specialists, in push polling. I know guys that are specialists in push polling. I believe there's going to be political consultants, if not now, in the days to come, especially on the Democratic Party side, that are going to specialize in the sexual smear. They don't care that Brett Kavanaugh or anybody who comes after him looks like they came out of Central Casting. They don't care how clean-cut Brett Kavanaugh is. They don't care that his wife is an awesome West Texas girl. They don't care about his cute little daughters. They don't care about the girls that he coaches on a basketball team. Their objective is to destroy him. They don't care about his life. They don't care about his professional ambitions. They don't care about his sustenance. They don't care. Destroy him. Turn him any way possible into a rapist. This woman, Professor Ford from Palo Alto, right outside of San Fran Freak Show, a professor out of leftist Palo Alto, Silicon Valley academia. I mean, she's basically running the Senate now. She basically runs the Senate. Can you simply make an allegation, an accusation, can point a finger and destroy you? Not just her, any woman, to any man, as it is right now, finger can be pointed at you and your life is destroyed, utterly destroyed. They don't care, the Democrats. They want tyrannical power. And if it means destroying literally the life of an individual and his family, think about it. Kavanaugh, not just Kavanaugh is going to have to deal with this. His wife is going to have to deal with this for the rest of her life. His children are going to have to deal with this for the rest of their lives, because it's going to be in the history books. And anytime a new SCOTUS nominee comes up, they're going to go back to Clarence Thomas. They're going to go back to Brett Kavanaugh. They're going to make them look like rapists. I mean, I saw on CNN last night on Chris Cuomo's program where John Dean was saying Kavanaugh has to be stopped because you can't have another sexual predator on the Supreme Court. Who are you calling a sexual predator on the Supreme Court? Are you alluding? Are you referring to Justice Clarence Thomas? Are you calling him a sexual predator? If not him, then who on the Supreme Court is roaming the catacombs as a sexual predator? Is Elena Kagan the sexual predator? Is the RGB? Ginsburg. What is her name? Ruth RBG. Yeah, that's it. The notorious RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Is she the sexual predator? She looks like a sexual predator to me. I mean, she tried to lay one on Barack Obama twice in State of the Union speeches. Y'all didn't see that? Obama would walk in. You guys know where the Supreme Court sits in the well of the House of Representatives. Obama walks in, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, if she could have, If she was strong enough and she wasn't small as a string bean, she would have dipped Barack Hussein Obama right there and tongued him right there. She could be the sexual predator. I mean, who was John Dean and Chris Cuomo talking about as the other sexual predator in the Supreme Court? Was it Clarence Thomas? Because to my observation, he hasn't performed as a sexual predator. No other accusations have come up against him. Outrageous. Beyond the pale. Can't have another sexual predator. Another one? Who's the first? Who's the first sexual predator? You want to name a name? Oh, they're awful. They're disgusting people. Disgusting, awful people. The left collective, they are awful, terrible people. And this is going to be standard operating procedure for the Democrats. Should I give you some case studies? Of course, Clarence Thomas. What about Herman Cain? You remember Herman Cain in 2012 presidential election? This black man was leading the Republican field for the GOP nomination. Women came out of the woodwork like roaches. Oh, he did this. He put his hand down my dress. He put his hand up my dress. He put his hand here. He put his tongue there. He did this. He did that. Really? No proof whatsoever. Just accusations. As soon as Herman Cain withdrew his name from the race, you heard nothing. Nothing else. No more complaints. No civil suits. No Bill Cosby type trial. Nothing. Zero. As soon as he was gone. Judge Roy Moore, most recently, said this guy was a pedophile. Literally said this guy was a pedophile. They said that this guy was so predatory sexually that they had to ban him from the local mall. He was so bad, they had to ban him from the local mall. He loses to Doug Jones, which I find interesting that they're sticking microphones and cameras in the face of the Democratic jackass senator from Alabama about this whole Kavanaugh Ford fiasco. And he's responsible. Him having his seat in Alabama, this tactic, is responsible for him having this seat. The sexual smear tactic is responsible for him having his seat, for him being in the Senate. Judge Roy Moore. Oh, I would love to ask Doug Jones a few questions about this. But as soon as Roy Moore was defeated, allegations gone. If the guy is a pedophile, where's the convening of the grand jury? Where's the grand jury investigation? Where's the criminal complaint to the local DA or to the Alabama DA? Where's the complaint? As soon as he loses, poof, all the sexual allegations, all the accusations, all the claims that Judge Roy Moore is a pedophile, they just disappear. I guess he can go back into the mall now since he's no longer a political threat. About the only one that I know that has survived these type of attacks, Donald Trump. I guess it's because everybody expects Donald Trump to be a player. We know Trump's a player. Trump has side pieces. Okay, we didn't elect him to be pastor in chief. He's about the only one that has survived because I guess the general public of the United States expect him to be a player. Expect him to be promiscuous. Oh, Donald Trump has committed adultery. Oh, okay, whatever. Okay, Donald Trump is proficient at locker room talk. Oh, okay, great. Big surprise. Now, they pulled a threat out on Ted Cruz at the time of Roy Moore. So, Ted Cruz, better watch out. Better watch out. I wouldn't be surprised, not one iota, with Beto the Punk's campaign circling the drain, about to be flushed down the toilet on November 6th, after all this New York and Hollywood money has been poured into Texas once again. And they just burn their cash when they pour money in here to Texas. But Texas is the crown jewel. I guess they're obligated to pour millions and millions of dollars into candidates like Wendy Working Girl Gold Digging Davis and Beto the Punk and Loopy Lupe and Denise Weeble Wobble Parker. All of them get obliterated. They said, watch out, Ted Cruz, watch out. I'm telling you, the Democrats are going to use the sexual smear as standard operating procedure. Just think about the case studies I just gave you. Standard operating procedure, and they will use it at every level of elections. Federal elections, state elections, county, municipal, dog catcher. They'll turn the dog catcher candidate that's a Republican into a sexual predator.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Pastor Stephen Broden is a featured Bible teacher.
What runs interference with God's instructive word are Satan, the world, and the flesh. Out of these three comes doubt, fear, and unbelief. Doubt and fear leads to unbelief. Unbelief, more than any other sin, is targeted towards the very character and integrity of God Himself. It challenges God's promises, His stated purposes, and casts dispersion on His plan for you and all who believe. This is what Satan did in the Garden of God with Adam and Eve. Satan led them to believe God was holding back on them and was untruthful about the consequences if they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Enjoy Pastor Stephen Broden, 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, this is Barry the Music Man with the Doc Green Show, and one of their most beloved sponsors is BDAC and Heat. I'll tell you what, last summer when it was hotter than heck, my air conditioner went south for the winter. So I called BDAC and Heat. He came out the next day and put in a new, quiet, efficient system. My electric bill dropped 50%. So if you have an AC problem, you need to give Galen a call. So call Galen BD at 281-222-9591 or bdacandheat.com. 281-222-9591. Start saving money and be cool today.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunctifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Listen up, Texans. RER Nation has got to grow. We've got to have those RER app downloads. Android devices. Here's how to share the RER app. Get to your application manager through Settings, tap the RER app logo. There's your Google Play, right? Scroll down. See the share icon? Hit it. Choose text or messenger. Pick a couple of Texas Patriots. Give a testimony in 160 characters. Send. iOS device folks, do the equivalent through the App Store. Let's get it viral. RER app.
Get to know Texas politics. RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
We are your Texas network. We are RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty. a little bit later, if I have some time today, because I do have Alice coming on and I do have Terry coming on. A little bit later, I'm going to try to give some advice to you brothers out there in this newly jacked up era of the Me Too movement. Oh, jeez. This is bad, man. Anybody who believes in life, liberty, and prosperity, if you're an ultra conservative, whether male or female, you're gonna have to engage into the gender war, and that's what's going on right here. It's a gender war, and gentlemen, you're gonna have to be willing to engage. All of you conservative men, all of you men out there that actually do have some level of testosterone within your physique. I mean, forget free contraceptions for everybody, for women. Forget all the free contraception handouts. It's, you know, for women. There needs to be a program, free testosterone boosters for American men, government sponsored. If the women can have free birth control pills, the men should be able to get free testosterone boosters so they can act like they got a pair. I gotta put Tina's video up. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow when Tina comes on, because Tina she's a trip. All right, so I'm in the giving advice business. I'm your chocolate Dear Abby, if you will. So I am going to give the Republicans the strategy to absolutely be victorious on this Kavanaugh fiasco, this smear, this assassination thing here going on, this high-tech lynching 2.0. And if the woman, the Palo Alto, I'm guessing she's got to be a tenured professor, right? Because all dedicated communists like this, especially soldiers in the struggle, like Professor Ford out of Palo Alto, Silicon Valley, Palo Alto, People's Republic, whatever. If she shows up, there is a way for the GOP to totally just obliterate her and the left, totally. And in some instances, what I'm going to counsel, they could do it without even saying a word, or very few words. Okay, so listen to me, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Listen to me, old hayseed Charles Grassley. Y'all listen good. Ronna Romney McDaniel, RNC chair. President Trump, Katrina Pearson, whoever is hailing the nomination within the White House. Senator Kyle, who is his Sherpa through the Senate, Kavanaugh's Sherpa. Listen to me, I'm fixing to tell you how to win this thing. So what you do on Monday, if the woman shows up, if the assassin shows up on Monday, Professor Ford from SLA country, if she shows up, you have Brett Kavanaugh walk into the Judicial Committee room, and all those women that signed that letter, the 65 women that signed the letter, okay, they march in with him. Plus, any more women he can round up beyond the 65. Can you imagine if you got 100 women, different ages, different races, sitting there giving Kamala Harris eye daggers? Oh, that would be beautiful. Game over. Game over. What's this Hawaiian lunatic's name? Maisie Hirono, or whatever her name is, from Hawaii. I tell you what, she must have had too much Hawaiian cess, or she must have been on some Hawaiian cess when some of the things that she's been saying in front of the microphones and cameras, just appalling. Kristen Gillibrand, however you pronounce her name, just appalling. I don't think she's on the Judiciary Committee. But Kamala Harris and Mazie Hirono and Diane Frankenfeinstein. Can you imagine those women having to sit there going eyeball to eyeball, eye dagger versus eye dagger with 100 women, all men on Kavanaugh's team, should give up their seats. They should give up their seats to the women. They should give up their passes to the women to be in the committee room, to be in the hearing. They should give them up. Give them all to Kavanaugh supporting women. And you have 100 women in there, and Kavanaugh should bring his wife, and Kavanaugh should bring his daughters. They're tough. And Kavanaugh should bring his girls' basketball team. It's time for them to grow up and know what the real world is all about, and to teach them, don't be like these scorpions, these female scorpions in the Democratic Judicial Committee. Don't be like them. So all of you girl basketball players, you come and you watch how nasty women act, and you decide that you're not going to be a nasty woman. Can you imagine? He's got 100 women sitting there, just sitting there giving eye daggers. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha. Diane Frankenfeinstein may need a change in her adult underwear. No, seriously. Because just the optics, they don't even have to say anything. Just the optics shuts them up. Speaking of shut up. So the jackasses say that the Republicans are old white men, therefore they cannot offer any questions at all to the socialist communist professor, the assassin, Dr. Ford. Professor Ford. I don't know if she has a PhD. Professor at a minimum. Professor Ford, the assassin. You can't ask her any questions. Okay. Fine. Lindsey Grahamnesty, Mike Lee, Hayseed Grassley, all the white men should say, no questions. When it's their time, when they control the time, I yield back my time, Mr. Chairman. Until it's Ted Cruz's turn. Because he's not an old white man. He's not an old white guy. He's Cuban, right? And does he consider himself to be Caucasian, or does he consider himself to be Latino? Well, if he's Latino, then he's not Caucasian. Then and he certainly isn't old, then he is qualified to ask questions. So when it's time for Senator Cruz, from that point on, then all the old white men can say, I yield my time to Senator Cruz. I yield my time to Senator Cruz. I yield my time to Senator Cruz. Get to Mike Lee. I yield my time to Senator Cruz. Who else is on Judiciary? All the old white guys. Each and every one of them. I yield my time. And then they can make a stink when Dickie Durbin asks questions. Or when the raccoon from Delaware, Senator Raccoon from Delaware, when he asks questions, those are white men. Those are old white men. I bet they're going to ask the assassin questions. Sexual assassin, that's what she is. First, on the optics side, you have 100 women in there. 100 women in there that support Kavanaugh, number one. Number two, all the old white guys, thank you, Professor Ford, for coming in and telling us your story. We really appreciate it. This is something that really needs to be looked into. Mr. Chairman, I yield back my time. And you let the Democrats, they need a foe. They need something to push back against, something to punch at. And you rope-a-dope them like that. Oh. But see, we're playing three-dimensional chess here. Oh, don't forget, when it's Cruz's turn, after Cruz, he can say, hey, look, my colleagues, they don't have the right. They don't have the rights of other citizens of the nation and members of the United States Senate. They are white men, and although they have been duly elected by their constituents, of their individual states, they absolutely have no right to participate because the assassin is a white leftist woman. You can't ask her any questions. Sexual assault, you can't ask her. You're an old white man. You can't ask her any questions. Okay, then Ted Cruz can. And then after Ted Cruz, then all the Republicans say, Mr. Chairman, I yield my time to Senator Cruz. I yield my time to Senator Cruz. And I'm telling you, the Cruz missile, he would knock it out of the park. He could roll with that. Former Solicitor General of Texas, he could argue for that long. He could come up with those kind of questions. Oh, and you have to play three-dimensional chess here. So, three-dimensional chess here. So what's going to happen? The Democrats are going to say, you're patronizing her. You weren't even concerned enough to ask any questions of her. You're patronizing her. The Republicans, they're not concerned with the sexual abuse. They didn't ask her any questions. Wait a minute. We're old white men. This is a right that we don't have, so you said. We can't ask her any questions. Now, which one is it? Do we have the right as any other member of the Senate and United States citizen, or do we not? Because if we don't, shut up, jackasses. What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
Automobile aficionado, Apostle Claver here. Let me introduce you to my mechanic, an ASC certified mechanic, Andre at America's Repair in Houston. Now, you guys know I'm a former fully sponsored race car driver and I own a high performance auto. You bet I'm particular about who even touches my car. I go to America's Repair to get all my auto work done, and you should too. Andre has served Spring Branch and all of Houston for over 20 years. America's Repair will match or beat any competitor's price. All repairs come with a 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty. America's Repair is a complete car care and repair center. State inspection, muffler and exhaust work, wheel alignment, brake work, tune-ups, engine transmission work, auto body and paint. Great deals on oil change and AC checkup. America's Repair accepts all extended warranties. 2005 North Gessner, 1 mile north of Memorial City Mall in the Katy. Wednesday is senior citizen discounts. Thursday, active military discount. Call 713-467-2001. 713-467-2001. AmericasRepair.com. Or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
The battle for liberty rages in every Texas community, none more so than in the nation's 4th largest city, Houston, Texas. A tyrannical mayor denies the right to vote to the citizens of the city, signs executive orders that violate the Texas Constitution and the charter of the city, and issues subpoenas for the sermons of pastors. And when the frontline leaders against the mayor's totalitarian agenda wanted a broadcast partner for their Faith, Family, and Freedom Tour, who did they request? RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
lot of great folks that we owe a big debt of gratitude for promoting this issue from day one. I want to recognize my friend Claver and the folks over at Raging Elephants over here. He was on it from day one. Every single week this man talks about this issue. And so thank you, Claver, for never giving in, never backing down, and continuing to be that loud conservative voice.
RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Pastor Stephen Broden is a featured Bible teacher.
What runs interference with God's instructive word are Satan, the world, and the flesh. Out of these three comes doubt, fear, and unbelief. Doubt and fear leads to unbelief. Unbelief, more than any other sin, is targeted towards the very character and integrity of God Himself. It challenges God's promises, His stated purposes, and casts dispersion on His plan for you and all who believe. This is what Satan did in the Garden of God with Adam and Eve. Satan led them to believe God was holding back on them and was untruthful about the consequences if they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Enjoy Pastor Stephen Broden, 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars. Or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like
the free market system, but is really just trying to use direct democracy to address some of the dysfunctions of capitalism in order to help it survive. But either way that you cut it, socialism is really broad, it's really big, and there's lots of different ways to define.
Okay, finally, the problems have been fixed. I literally had to reboot the entire computer. Terry couldn't get in. Terry, so sorry about that, but I got it fixed. I couldn't waste the opportunity to talk to you. Not one iota. I had to get those things fixed. Terry, how are you? I'm sorry about that, and I want to apologize to the herd out there, the rabid supporters of Raging Elephants Radio. How are you?
I'm doing well. Although there's usually something going on over at TxDOT with these toll agencies that gets you hot under the collar, and I definitely have plenty to deliver that today.
Yeah, I know that you do. Why don't we're behind here, and we got to crunch you in. So why don't you get started? Why don't I just kind of get out of the way? What do you have to report for us? Terry Hall from Texas Turf, Raging Elephants Radio contributor. She handles transportation for us. Go ahead, Terry. The floor is yours.
Absolutely. Well, there was a recent Senate Transportation Committee hearing that was the topic of discussion was toll collection reform. And this was kind of the bone that Lieutenant Governor Patrick threw us after last session ended so badly with his committee chair, Robert Nichols, basically gutting the House reform on toll collection. It would have capped the fines and fees at $48 a year so that they cannot literally bankrupt you with excessive fines and fees, as you well know, especially in the Harris County area in Houston. They are known nationally for being some of the most cutthroat and brutal, merciless collections when it comes to their tolls, and they never negotiate. I mean, never negotiate down fines and fees that get tacked onto your bill, even when it wasn't your fault. So they're financially ruining literally millions of Texans over this issue, and it needed to have all of this, all the water under the bridge come out and have it exposed, and hopefully watch the cockroaches start scrambling as the light gets shined on this. Well, we had some very, very scandalous information, in my view, come out at this hearing, and one of them was that TxDOT, now they only operate 3 toll projects in Austin area, and I believe a portion of the Grand Parkway, just a couple segments of it, near Harris County. And that's about all they operate at this time. And they literally admitted that they have $1 billion in toll fines and fees that have been added on to their customers' toll bills.
Wow. $1 billion.
$1 billion with a B. Now, you tell me how. And the city size of Austin, that would even if every man, woman, and child that lives there, because they're just 900,000 or something like that is their technical population. I don't know how you get to a point where you could ever have these people pay you the $1 billion and ever get them out of the hole that you have just dug for these people financially.
Let's get this right, Terry. Let's get this right. $1 billion in toll road fines. Because
that's right. Not what you owe, not the actual toll that you owe. This is just them tacking it on. And here's the problem. Rick Perry, as you know, is the one who conceived all of this mess and unleashed it on the state years ago in the early 2000s.
Hold up, Terry. When you say tack it on, you mean there's additional fines or interest on the fines? That's what you mean, not just
not the toll you owe.
Not just the $10 that you owe because you went through and didn't pay, but they tack on the fees and the fines, and it's over $1 billion. I want people to understand that. Okay, now what about Rick Perry?
So when Rick Perry unleashed all of this, obviously they set up these little fiefdoms with these individual toll entities that nobody's watching. Nobody's looking over the shoulder to find out what's going on, and it wasn't until this hearing that some of this information finally gets out, right? So one of the things that they allowed them to do is every time you pass under a toll gantry, which is one of those little toll cameras, right? They call that a toll violation. If your payment card isn't working right, if you're a pay-by-mail, let's say you don't even have a toll tag, you happen to be passing through town and you take one of these toll roads and you expect them to send you the bill in the mail, well, guess what? They're going to tack on a toll violation fee to every time you pass under one of those cameras, not necessarily every trip you take, every camera you go under. So every toll transaction, they're allowed to impose these excessive fines and fees on people, and it adds up so quickly that even if you, let's say you pass under 5 of those cameras on your way to work and 5 on your way home, that is 10 a day. It only takes you 10 days to become what's called a habitual toll violator. And then they can literally stick the cops on you, stop you right there on the tollway, impound your car on the spot, take your car, and most people owe money on their car, so that means you're making payments on a car that's impounded. You got to pay thousands of dollars to get your car out of being impounded. Then they can block your vehicle registration. Then if you're trying to dispute the fines and fees they've tacked on and financially ruining you in the process, if you don't show up to court because now you have to take a day off work to go do that, they can throw you in jail for failure to show up because they've criminalized you for failure to pay a bill in this state. And all of this starts coming out, right? And we literally had, this is interesting for those of you in the Harris County area, because your Senator Sylvia Garcia, who sits on the Senate Transportation Committee, she's the one that's representing the Houston area on that committee. She literally did not know how bad this has gotten. When we've been trying to shout this from the mountaintops for over a decade, I get calls almost daily from people around the state who are in absolute shambles trying to figure out how they get out from under this financial weight that gets imposed on them, usually from no fault of their own.
How do they get their car back? They're struggling just, how do I get my transportation back?
That's right. They can't get to work. Now you've taken away their ability to get to work, which is absolutely counterproductive to getting the toll bill paid, is it not? If you take away someone's ability to get to work, how are they supposed to pay you So we've basically enacted a system that's just like the driver's responsibility program, which I'm sure you've heard from Senator Hall and so many others that want that repealed. And we've had judges come before the transportation committees every session for as long as I've been doing this, begging them to repeal that program because of how it creates a huge cycle of poverty that people can never get out of. Because, of course, this hits the middle class and the poor the most, and those are the people that can least afford to miss a day at work or to have their car taken from them and their transportation to get to and from work. And so this is actually capturing even more people than that program, because that's if you have a moving violation or a drunk driving incident. Well, this captures far more people because literally millions of Texans every day use these toll roads, not because they necessarily like it, but because they have to get anywhere. The other huge big piece of news that I thought came out of it was that 2 million residents in Austin, 2 million. Now, obviously, that's more residents than the city of Austin even has. So obviously that's including some suburbs. But according to KXAN TV, they did an investigative report on this whole issue surrounding this hearing and all the problems that their listeners and viewers have brought to their attention. 2 million people are putting collections just by TxDOT over toll bills. 2 million. And the vast majority of their toll roads are only in Austin.
Just the Austin area, 2 million people are in collections
already.
This is worse than the internal on a.
That's what I'm telling you.
This is worse than the Internal Revenue Service.
You betcha. This is an absolute scourge on our state, and to me, lawmakers looking the other way and doing nothing at this point is criminal.
Yeah,
because they have a fiduciary duty to take care of this situation that they have unleashed, and they had better start fixing it because this is the most unfriendly economic environment that you could possibly create.
Okay, hold on,
by putting people in collections for taking a public road.
All right, we got to finish talking about this, but I got to take a quick break. The technical difficulties definitely put me behind. I got to take a quick break. This break is going to be a short break. Coming back with Terry Hall of Texas Turf. We're talking Texas transportation. When I say that transportation is being used as an instrument of tyranny, here's a report right here from Terry Hall proving that fact. I'm not talking hyperbole, guys. I'm not exaggerating. This is not conspiracy theory. This is happening in Texas. There's something that you can do about it. Terry Hall is here to inform you, and then you have to act. Raging Elephants Radio. If you're not listening, you're not learning. Be right back with Terry Hall.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunctifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Here's how to use the RER app on your commute and get the latest Liberty 411. First, download the RER app on your smart device, phone or tablet, Apple or Android. Search Raging Elephants Radio in your App Store or Google Play and hit the search button on your keyboard. Connect your device to your car audio system. Do it via Bluetooth or auxiliary jack. You riding old school? Stick in some quality earbuds and enjoy the serious HD stereo. No excuses. It's here. RER app.
Take us wherever you go. Raging Elephants Radio, streaming on your computer, tablet, and smartphone.
Well, because of the technical difficulties, and I thank everybody for your patience there for a few minutes, we may have to do a little bit of overtime. Still got to get Alice, Sassy Alice Linehan, RER contributor for education, in here. But right now, it's Terry Hall from Texas Turf. Check out the website, get on the email list. That's one way to defeat Facebook censorship. Just go old school, get on the email list, deal with a full inbox if you want to beat the Facebook censorship, and you want to get on Texas Turf's email list. Terry Hall is here. All right, Terry, over 2 million Austinites, right. 2 million Austinites
have been put in collections just by TxDOT alone. And that's not counting the 11 other toll entities across the state of Texas. That's just TxDOT.
Okay, so
what happened was...
one on top of the other. $1 billion in total fines in the toll roads that surround the Austin area. And then 2 million people, citizens, Travis County, Williamson County, Hayes County, that are...
anyone that takes State Highway 130.
Yeah, Bastrop, all that. Anybody in there, 2 million individuals that are on the call list, the robocall list for TxDOT collections. Wow.
So that is staggering. I mean, is that not an absolute outrage of how they are financially ruining literally millions of Texans over what could be a $2 toll? They're out of control, folks. This is so over the top, out of control. And here's how it happens for the most part. This is what I hear from literally thousands of Texans across the state when they call me with their problems about this. And what happens is, just like when you use your payment card for Netflix or Amazon or any of these online purchases that you make, if you have a payment card denied for any reason, you are notified immediately that that payment card was denied and that there's a problem with that card or with your account. And you make it right because those companies want your money and they shut off your service unless you do, right? Well, the government has no incentive to tell you that your account has a problem because they can impose a fee and a fine on you every single time you pass under a toll gantry until it all catches up with you. They had no obligation prior to us passing a reform bill, a version of it anyway, when we tacked it onto the TxDOT Sunset Bill, SB 312, last session. But it got severely weakened by Robert Nichols, the Senate Transportation Committee chair, in the Senate Conference Committee. But at the end of the day, they didn't even have to prove they sent you a bill before all of this could happen. And the agencies constantly deny that they're not sending the bills. and that people get a bill first before they're put in collections. But then what was one of the greatest moments for me when I was up in the House gallery watching this debate on the House floor over this toll collection reform amendment that we were trying to pass, which did pass, by the way, in overwhelming numbers by a vote of 136-3. And that was when you even had rhinos and Democrats and conservatives and Freedom Caucus members all rushing to the mic, telling their own stories of how they received a bill and were put in collections before they ever had the opportunity to pay a bill with just the toll. So for them to try and deny that this is occurring, our own state lawmakers are just as angry about this as we are in many cases, because they're getting sucked into this problem. So what they did was we put a cap on how high those fines and fees can get to $48 a year. And that means per year, not per transaction, not per month, not per driver. I mean, literally, this is per year per driver. This is the most that they could charge you in fines and fees. However, the big problem with that bill is that it only applied to TxDOT because we were tacking it onto a TxDOT bill. We couldn't tackle the other 11 toll entities in that bill without getting a point of order on germaneness. So we did an AG opinion. We asked for an AG opinion from Paxson to see if it did capture more, because there was a section of the code that mentions all the toll entities, but those are only the ones that have a contract with TxDOT. So it only applies to about, I want to say it was 7, maybe it was 8 toll roads across the state. And most all of them are just the TxDOT ones in Austin. And then again, a segment of Grand Parkway, and I want to say it may be a stretch of 249 or something, where this applies. But that didn't even take effect until March 1 of this year. So you still have this huge problem of all the outstanding toll collection problems for millions of Texans. And then, of course, in Austin, TxDOT is not the only toll operator. There's an RMA.
That's the question that came to my mind when you're giving this report. You have all the toll roads that are being operated, let's say, like with Centra, the private toll road operators. When it comes to the toll road violations, do they get a chunk of that, or does it all go to TxDOT?
Yes.
Wow.
That is one of the worst aspects to these public-private partnership contracts that we've objected to, as you know, from day one.
The government are being bagmen. The government are being enforcers
for a private, for-profit company.
Wow.
And they can block your vehicle registration and impound your car and even throw you in jail if you don't pay up what this private company says you owe. It's a beautiful thing if you're Centra.
Fascism. Total fascism.
It's awful.
It
is absolutely deplorable.
Has the force of government behind them to be profitable. And then when they go belly up, then the government bails them out.
That's right. And the other aspect to that, if you remember, I think we may have talked about this before, but to remind your listeners about this, there is something in that contract, and it's the same with the central contracts up in Dallas-Fort Worth, is let's say somebody, a driver from, an international driver from Mexico comes over, uses State Highway 130. TxDOT does not have their vehicle registration information in their database because it's another country. And unless that vehicle driver voluntarily goes to buy a toll tag, which most of them aren't going to do, we have to make the private operator whole on any losses of toll revenue from people that skip out on the toll that are international drivers. So we bail them out in a whole bunch of ways that are just bad for the taxpayer. But then you've got the Austin RMA, which is the Regional Mobility Authority, which we've talked a lot about on your program as well, that is also operating MOPAC and several other projects like 183 and part of 290 and 71 in the Austin area. And they don't have a cap because that bill didn't apply to them because Jeannie Morrison, the House Transportation Committee Chair, would not set Eamon Hodges' bill for a hearing. And that's who's the author of this toll collection reform bill. And so because all this stuff occurred, we wanted it to apply to every entity, obviously. We wanted it to end this mess. make them have to mail you a bill, make it so that you had at least 2 months opportunity to pay the bill before they come in and start threatening collections. I mean, look, they can't even foreclose on your house unless you're at least 90 days past due. Only the government can get away with this kind of financial thievery, and really it amounts to usury, what we're seeing going on, and debtor's prison. And we've resurrected that through this horrific toll billing system that's been unleashed on this state by Rick Perry, and we've been trying to clean up his mess for 14 years. And it's going to take every activist in your listening audience to call their state lawmaker to demand reform when it comes to the toll collection system. The very first thing we ought to do is demand they decriminalize this, because you shouldn't be made a criminal for failure to pay a bill. That's why we have bankruptcy courts and not debtors' prisons, right?
Right.
And that's not what we have in this situation. They keep making exceptions and allowing this sort of stuff when it comes to driving, whether it's driving responsibility programs or this toll collection, to just kind of wiggle its way right back under the rug, and they think no one's paying attention. Well, I'll tell you, there's millions of Texans that have been captured by this, and it's financially ruining them and their credit and their ability to buy houses or get their cars paid for. They're getting liens on their vehicles because they can't get them out from being impounded. They can't make the payments. They could have their cars repossessed. It just goes down a road that, to me, is unthinkable for lawmakers to have allowed this to occur. And they always love to brag, these toll entities, whether it's TxDOT or an RMA or the Harris County Toll Authority or whoever. They love to brag about how, we have, this is a very affordable and efficient system, and this only captures a handful of scofflaws, the habitual violators. Well, the easiest way to become a violator is to just not have your payment card work for a matter of 10 days, and you're already a habitual toll violator. You are now a criminal in the eyes of the state.
Terry, I only got about 90 seconds left. Just really quick, just something positive. We'll see. Greg Abbott declaring red light cameras a 2018 session enemy.
Great news. Absolutely. We've been working on that as well, not as closely as we can work on tolls, but we've definitely been there to support all of those bills and want to see reform on that front as well with the red light camera scams that go on. I've never seen an industry so full of corruption and bribes between the judges and the companies and such. I've just never seen it. Almost every day I see another news story of an official that gets bribed by these red light camera companies because they know how much the public hates this, how it's unconstitutional. We got to put an end to it. And I think that Abbott kind of is reading the tea leaves a bit, because there is a court case that looks very promising that it's going to come down on the side of we the people. And he wants to get on the right side of this beforehand so he can take credit.
There you go. And that's Greg Abbott. That's his political standard operating procedure. Like I say, Greg, do the easy thing, Abbott. If it's an easy thing, if he holds his finger up in the air and the polling numbers look right and the wind is blowing in the proper direction, okay, he's going to do that. The easy thing. Never does the difficult thing, Terry Hall, for whatever reason. But
I have to give him credit on this. I just one thing. He did reverse the Rick Perry policy on toll roads, and the easiest thing in the world for him to have done would keep that on autopilot and let all that road money keep flowing to his campaign coffers. I have to say the governor's taken a ton of heat from those road contractors and from bureaucrats like Michael Morris that runs that RTC up there in the North Texas area that was fighting Bob Hall and Don Huffines on getting tolls on 635. And if it weren't for the governor standing strong on this, there would be tolls today. And thankfully that project's going to be done non-toll because our guys put their feet and dug their heels in and would not let these guys get away with it. So I'm very grateful to him for that.
Yeah, all right. Great, Terry. Let's see what he does on the red light cameras. Terry Hall.
Yeah, okay.
Texas
Fair enough.
She's awesome. Talk to you. Terry, don't get sick and get a sore throat again, okay? Because when I need you,
I'll try. I'll work really hard.
All right. See you, Terry.
See you later.
Need to book a flight? Check out cheapoair.com. Cheapo Air offers you the fastest way to compare and book over 450 flights worldwide. In fact, with Cheapo Air, you can travel out and back
See you,
on 2
Terry.
different airlines to get a better
See you
deal on
later.
flights to more than 2,000 destinations across the globe.
Need to book a flight?
You can
Check
even
out
look at alternate dates
cheapoair.com.
and airports, see if they're low
Cheapo Air
fares
offers you
and
the
get
fastest
lower.
way to compare and book
Plus,
over
Cheapo Air
450
gives you
flights
the freedom to change your
worldwide.
travel plans within 24 hours of booking.
In fact, with Cheapo Air, you can travel out and back on 2 different airlines to get a better deal on flights to more than 2,000 destinations across the globe.
Just like that.
You can even look at alternate dates and airports to see if their low fares can get no lower. Plus, Cheapo Air gives you the freedom to change your travel plans within 24 hours of booking. If something comes up, just give them a call.
Thinking flights? Think Cheapo Air.
Visit Cheapo Air through the RER Marketplace.
Plus, with Cheapo Air, you can book with confidence.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle. Now featuring Biosphere. Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
At home, at work, or even in your vehicle. Now featuring Biosphere.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com. What do you care about Washington, D.C.? D.C. doesn't care about you. You're a Texan. You're a Texan above all else. And there's only one radio station that's going to feed your need for Texas power and independence. RagingElephantRadio.com. Finally, the Patriots of the Lone Star State have a unified voice to fight back and organize. 24/7, 365. RagingElephantRadio.com is going to give you what you need to know about Texas politics, liberty, and independence. Take us wherever you go. RagingElephantRadio.com. Streaming on your computer, smartphone, tablet, and internet auto.
Texas Talk is all the rage. Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Alice, I'm sorry, I got you in late, had some technical difficulties, so we have to go do a little RER overtime. Then we're just going to have to do a little RER overtime to be able to give you the time that you need to do the report that we've got to have from you. What's going on? Alice Linehan, Raging Elephants Radio contributor.
Hey, it's going well. The sun is shining, and the Argyle Eagles are winning in football.
Oh, jeez. And all is well in the world. The Argyle Eagles. What's their record, Alice?
Well, this year they're 3-0. So
excuse me. At 3-0.
Yeah.
Come out of the box hot. Just
That's right. But we have had some competition, which is always good. That's part of the challenge, too, is sometimes these, the way they draw the lines on these districts, they make it a little too easy. So we need to toughen up those lines that they're drawing.
It's too easy for the Argyle Eagles. Oh, NC, no contest. Oh, jeez. That is an Argyle mother for you, ladies and gentlemen. Alice Linehan. Hey, Alice, Bill Gates is at it again. And a lot of folks don't recognize that Bill Gates is a major player when it comes to C-scope, Common Core, centralized education, Soviet communist-style education, curriculum, digital learning, digital data gathering, harvesting on our children. They don't know all of that. People focus on Google and Facebook and Twitter and all the data collection that they do. The NSA still does it. But the point that you have made is that the education system is the worst violator of this, the Fourth Amendment, and it's being done on our children. It's child abuse. And oftentimes the one that gets overlooked is Microsoft, that really kind of started it all when they were able to give people access to personal computers through their operating system. That really started it all. They've been doing clandestine stuff for a long, long time, and so we shouldn't be surprised that Bill and Melinda Gates, the Gates Foundation, is a leader when it comes to the centralized control of our children and predetermining their future. Alice, what's your report on their latest exploits?
Well, you're exactly right. And there is an article that came out where Gates is quoted as saying that they will be supporting new, and this is important to understand, new data systems that will make it possible to compare student outcomes across the globe. Gates said last year that the first step to measuring education quality will be to develop better cross-national assessments, particularly for math and reading among young students. Why this is so important, we've talked about it on your show before. When they eliminate the STAR, which that's what the plan is, and the STAR test that Texas students are forced to take, there's 15, I think, throughout their career now, or there used to be 15, now it's down from that. But they're gradually getting rid of the end of course test. What Gates is talking about and what the Texas legislature has already put in place and is working on the implementation of they call them the next generation of assessments and accountability. And what that means is it's not an end of course test. Does a child know 2 + 2 is 4? But they're formative assessments. They're assessments, not tests. Assessments allow them to monitor. And the number one recommendation in the next generation of assessments and accountability commission report that came out that went to the Texas legislature, the number one recommendation was online assessments and instruction. So people need to understand this gradual push for online digital learning, personalized learning. That's all a part of this bigger vision. And Microsoft, Google, they have all been working in coordination with the UNESCO, which is the education arm of the United Nations, to implement this whole vision. And it is documented, it is provable that the Obama administration was working hand in hand with a guy, I've talked about him before on your show, Andre Schleicher. He's with the OECD that developed the assessment systems for UNESCO. He worked with the Obama administration to reshape online K-12 assessments. So people need to understand when their schools are bringing in these one-to-one devices and they're using Google Classroom and they're on Microsoft computers, that is a part of this whole system, this whole network. And they are creating a global education system. And this has national security implications because what this means.
No. Now, Alice, I don't think it's See, to me, the danger with the big tech companies and what Microsoft and Google are doing is they will have complete control of governance, economics, and culture.
Everything, yes.
Everything, because they'll be touching more people than ever. They've shown a propensity to agree with totalitarian tendencies. That's why they cooperate with China or Russia, Vietnam, et cetera, et cetera. That's why they do it. And then in their own communities, which is beyond the borders of any nation, as a private company, they rule. And they're controlling when information is being disseminated to the globe. And now they're going to be controlling what dissemination is being disseminated to the children, and then assessing the difference between how they're adapting to whatever the big tech companies consider and centralized in cahoots with centralized government. They're going to be controlling what the population does, thinks, everything, right? The big tech companies. I mean, they're more dangerous to me than a China or a Russia or a North Korea or any other communist country, because of their ability to shape minds, attitudes, values, beliefs, and behaviors. I have a question for you. What is the difference between assessments and testing? I'm very accustomed to sitting down old school at a desk and having 100 questions thrown in front of you, check off the box, which is the right answer, okay? This is different, assessments versus testing. Is there a fundamental difference in this? Should we know about this difference? Is there a distinct difference?
What you were talking about is what is a test is a summative test, meaning you are given the information, the knowledge, and at the end you take a test, and did you learn it or not? It is knowledge, fact-based. Did you learn it or not? Formative is an assessment. They are monitoring and forming and training basically the student over time. And so it's the difference between a true knowledge-based education and a competency or mastery. And so that's the shift away from the academics, knowledge-based, to the behavioral.
That's the STAR shift away from the STAR to this new testing system. Is that what's going on? It's the shift away from the truly academic to now attitudes, values, belief, and behavior assessment. Are you adapting to the attitudes, values, and beliefs and behaviors that you're supposed to be shaped into over the course of your matriculation?
Exactly. And so what these software companies are doing, they are mining the education data. They don't want to know, they don't care who Claver is, but they want your private, personal, psychological data so that they can create software programs to benchmark you, and then the program, the algorithms, create assessments, adaptive assessments to modify your behaviors. That's what the whole Facebook, the whole Twitter, all of this has been one huge experiment on the world population to modify behaviors. That's how they have been using us as guinea pigs, and now, but the difference too is I have a choice to go in and get on Facebook. I don't have to do that. I'm opting in, if you will, to their system.
But your child doesn't have an option. The government says your child must go into that classroom.
Exactly. And so what has happened is the standards that have been put in place in Texas, the college and career readiness standards, the Texas essential knowledge and skills, have embedded technology into the English class, into the math class,
the history class, the biology class.
Into the history, yes. And so that teacher is no longer evaluated based on, was that teacher able to teach students knowledge, fact-based information? The teacher is actually evaluated on how they're using the technology in the classroom.
Wow. Okay, so is UNESCO running this whole show? Because there's a connection between the Gates Foundation and UNESCO. Is UNESCO the ultimate globalist, cultural shaper, Sherpa out there? Is that the mad scientist, ultimately UNESCO? Is that the one that's holding the strings of the puppeteer?
Yes, it is. And unfortunately, last week, the Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, was in Argentina, and she signed us into the United States into a declaration. It's the G20 declaration.
Oh my goodness.
And if you read, and when you read that declaration, you will understand that Betsy DeVos has signed us onto this whole system.
Okay, so basically what just happened last week in Argentina is while the Trump administration is making a big to-do about getting us out of the Paris Climate Accord, now we've got basically a Paris Climate Accord for education, which deleteriously impacts our children and our culture for generations. So this is twisted. This is ultimately twisted.
Yes, you're exactly right. And in the G20, let me just read the first statement of the document.
I'm tired of being exactly right, Alice. I really am. I'm sort of tired because every time I'm right is something that's absolutely destructive.
You're exactly. Unfortunately, you're exactly right.
Unfortunately, you're exactly right again, Claver. I'm so tired of being right. I'm like a Trump supporter. I'm tired of winning. I'm tired of being right. You know.
Me too.
Go ahead,
too.
Alice.
I want to be wrong. So this is the document that Betsy DeVos signed us onto, the first statement of the preamble. We, the ministers of education.
Oh, she's a minister now. She's a minister of education.
Yes.
We're in a parliamentarian system now in the United States of America. Now it's minister of education, Betsy DeVos now, is it? Oh, how peachy. Go ahead, Alice.
We, the ministers of education of the G20 members and invited countries, met in Mendoza, Argentina on the 5th of September to affirm the unique role of education as a key driver for sustainable development for all nations. Recognize the need to place education at the center of the global agenda and call for collective action.
Oh, global agenda, collective action, communism at its finest.
That's it. We commit to facilitating the internationalization of education. We will work to meet our commitments affirmed in this declaration to building a robust set of education and skills policies from a global perspective that fosters inclusive and sustainable human progress in every nation.
Wow. Any press releases on this from the Trump administration, Alice? Was there a press conference on this? Have you seen big corporate Pravda report on this at all?
No, I can't get anybody to report on this other than you. And I will say Breitbart did report on it, and Michelle Malkin has talked about it. There has been a call for the firing of Betsy DeVos over this. What people need to understand, though, is, yes, I'm for firing Betsy DeVos because hopefully that would create enough of a media buzz for people to ask why she's being fired. But this system has already been put in place. Texas has already been implementing it. I put out an article just this week where in it, and I will send you this video of Pat Hardy, who is on the State Board of Education, is questioning the illustrious Mike Morath on this open education resources. Basically, the state of Texas is buying into the Department of Education's open resource program, and so the TEA is developing online curriculum that aligns with all this crap. And the school districts, it's how they're getting basically a loss of local control is through what they call open education resources. And all of this is funded, and Google and Microsoft and Amazon are all tied into this. And the TEA and Mike Morath are all a part of this. And it's the document. I have the video showing where Mike Morath is defending this open education resources program. And it's all, and then I show the document where Google and Microsoft are all talking about this interoperability, and it's all happening. So people need to understand and I've said it before, these bathroom bill Republicans who are about protecting our children in the bathroom, you sure as hell better start protecting our children in the classroom. Because what Governor Abbott, and I don't care whether it's Abbott or whether it's Patrick or on the other side of the aisle, it does not matter who is in office, if it's a Republican or a Democrat, all of them have been bought off on this. The fact that Abbott is for Mike Morath and supports Mike Morath, and the fact that Thomas Ratliff and Tassa and Tasby and the other side all support Mike Morath, it's because they all support this global agenda.
Well, if we can beat Joe Strauss, we can beat Mike Morath. If we can beat Joe Strauss, we can beat the rest of these nimnongs too, Alice. I'm telling you right now. And you're leading the charge. It's through education, it's through information, and it's through the saints and patriots, the grassroots of the liberty movement being active. We got to get the information out there, and this is a global agenda. That's right. And I know there's a lot of people out there, Alice. They find it untenable. They find it hard to accept. But in these situations, when we're in situations like this, we may have to separate ourselves. We may have to file for divorce. The only way out may be out. We may have to become an independent republic to be able to get out of a Paris Climate Accord agreement treaty for education. If we want to get our children out of it, the only way out may be out, Alice. It's something that we've got to discuss. I know it's hard for some folks to swallow, but if we really care about our children, really care about our country, our culture, our economy, and our governance here in Texas, our way of life, our unique culture, we have to discuss it, because this is awful. How do you escape this? It's awful.
It is.
Alice, thanks so much.
Time to stand. Thank you. Have a great day.
Raging Elephants radio contributor Alice Linehan. She covers big education for us. How about that for two topics that most big corporate media, especially national, they're not talking about? Education. They're not talking about transportation and how it's being used as a tyrannical bludgeon on Texans and Americans in general. We just happen to be very fortunate here in Texas that we're in a position that if we actually wanted to get out of this mess, we actually could. We'll talk about that, of course, in days to come. Another big program for you tomorrow. I'm waiting for the Renaissance Festival tickets to get into my hands from Chip. I'm not going to give away any Renaissance Festival tickets until they get in my hands from Chip. He says he's got them in the mail. So when the Renaissance Festival tickets get here, they're going to be passed out like candy, but only through the Raging Elephants radio app. So download the app. I'm Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, the Christian politician, your ultra-conservative soul brother. My enemies under the pink dome call me the purifier, and I like it. Once again, thanks for your patience through the technical difficulties. May the Lord Jesus bless you. May the Lord Jesus bless the future independent sovereign republic of Texas.